But for a leader, an adaptive leader, to be able to influence, I think there are three things that have to happen before any model or any strategy or any help can come your way.
Okay. Three things. So
Three things.
let's talk about the three things really quickly, if you don't mind.
Yes. Well, the first one is positive intention again,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And you heard us, we've talked about positive intention before when it comes to adaptive leadership, but when you're trying to influence, it's a little bit different. And that is if the person or group on the receiving end of your influence smells that there's any bad intention or something that they don't understand, a very primal part of their brain kicks in to say, I don't know, something doesn't sound right, something doesn't feel right, something doesn't seem right, and you're not going to get followership. You're not going to get followership at all. So you have to possess positive intention. And again, sometimes we think we have positive intention, but there's little demons hiding here and there where we also have other alternative measures at play.
So it's, you speak of those little demons when it comes to positive intent. It's so important to realize that if you are a leader and people don't trust your intention, you will never be able to get people to follow,
That's
ever.
exactly right. That's
Right.
right. And when you're influencing, you also have to practice emotional intelligence. Now, as you and I both know, we could talk all day long about emotional intelligence and all the great work out there on emotional intelligence. In order to influence, I think emotional intelligence comes into play. You have to be checked in with your emotional intelligence, the emotional intelligence of other people, what's going on for you, what's going on for other people. In short, what I mean is influencing cannot be a to do item on a checklist.
Yeah.
You have to be tied in to what's going on with others and what's going on with yourself. You have to be emotionally intelligent before you influence.
Yeah, and it always reminds me of when I'm in class and we're talking about emotional intelligence, and people sort of push back and say, "Well, I'm emotionally intelligent," and so I step back sometimes. And I say, "Okay, well, let's put it this way." You know, those people who walk into a meeting, let's say, and they suck all of the air out of the room, and people who, when you're walking down the hallway, all you want to do is turn and go the other way because you don't really want to cross their path. You know, those people with that high level of suckage that I talk about sometimes. I mean, those are people that, unfortunately, even I go back to intent, maybe they don't intend to have low emotional intelligence in the workplace, but they just don't know that they have low emotional intelligence in the workplace. But I believe everything rises and falls on your ability to be emotionally intelligent, because if you can put yourself in a position where you can understand people and they feel understood, they'll be more open to hear what you have to say.
Yes, absolutely. A leader who is trying to influence also has to demonstrate empathy. I think this rounds out positive intention, practicing emotional intelligence, and you have to have empathy. You have to demonstrate empathy. Individuals have to know and feel, even at a subconscious level, that you care about them, you care about the situation. Now, we're not talking about you have to be everyone's best friend. That's not what we're talking about here, but there's a certain level of care and concern that has to be exhibited for what you're working on and for the people being involved, because without it you're not going to be able to influence.
Yeah. And sometimes people get confused and stuck, I find, and stuck on the difference between empathy and sympathy for an individual. And people feel, oh, you know, you want me to go ahead and cry with this person? No, that's not what it's all about. It's understanding maybe why they're crying and how you can be of benefit in their life at that point, and how you can be in touch with them, you know, have a high touch point with them at that, and at that point. So it's not about sympathizing. It's really about really becoming open to someone else and what they're feeling, and
Yeah,
can be a benefit.
absolutely. It's about respect for people. It's
Yeah,
about not treating people like cogs in a wheel.
yeah,
So we're trying to influence on a given project or initiative, but yet we're treating people like cogs in the wheel. Oh, that's the finance person. Oh, that's the supply chain person.
hmm,
Oh, that's the project manager. No, that's Mary. That's Bob. That is Sue, right? There's people behind their function and their role. And so that's kind of a level of empathy as well, is having that respect for people.
treat people like people.
That's right, exactly. Not cogs in the wheel.
Give it up